the issues affecting Asia's animals, and the stories of the people working on their behalf. We'll be taking you on a tour of what's been happening lately in the animal protection space around Asia and also bringing you updates from our huge network of animal protection organizations and our many working groups. Welcome to the Asia for Animals podcast.
Hi everyone, this is Tang, the lead coordinator of Asia Farm Animal Coalition, or FAC. Welcome to the next AFA podcast, and this time we are going to unpack one of FAC's work and initiative, the Asia Farm Animal Day. In this episode, we want to explain to you what Asia Farm Animal Day is, its goals, unique needs, and role in strengthening the farmed animals movement in Asia. We will hear first-hand experiences and insights from participants of past AFAD events, highlighting key learnings, collaborations, and on-the-ground challenges, and AFAD's impact and relevance to advocates, researchers in the continent. First of all, Asia Farm Animal Day, or AFAD for short, celebrated every 10th of October, is the region's biggest movement uniting voices for animals raised for our food. Created by the Asia for Animals Farm Animal Coalition, AFAD brings together advocates, chain makers, and everyday people to imagine a kinder food system for Asia. And each year, it sparks inspiring events, creative campaigns, and powerful stories from across the continent, showing how small actions can lead to massive impact. From local gatherings to global collaborations, AFAD is where ideas turn into momentum for farmed animals. And we're here today to celebrate the Asia Farm Animal Day, and I'm joined by Apurva, Fiolita, and Kalyan. Hi Apurva, hi Kalyan, hi Fiolita, how are you today?
I'm doing really well, thank you.
I feel amazing.
Yeah, also me. I'm feeling great seeing you all guys here.
Great. And to help our audience know more about you, so could you please quickly introduce about yourself, your name of your organization, and your role in your organization? Let's start with Apurva.
I'm Apurva. I am the founder and executive director of Animal Law and Policy Network, an independent think tank working in India.
And Fiolita?
Hi, I'm Fio. Now I'm working with Animals Don't Speak Human, the organization that I established in Bali, Indonesia. My current role is founder and also the director of the organization.
Hi, my name is Kalyan Shrestha, and I'm the organizer of Chitwan Animal Safe. I'm running one of the chapter of Animal Safe here in Nepal.
Oh, great. Thank you for joining me today on the official Asia Farm Animal Day. May I ask how many AFAD events have you attended? Either it's online or offline. Can we start with Apurva again?
Two.
Two events.
This is the third.
Oh, great. How about you, Fio?
Yeah, I've been joining just like one AFAD in Malaysia. So this is AFA, so the second event that I'm joining.
Great.
Yeah, so it's also been my second, and the Eva event is the third one.
Oh, great. Well, I really love to see you again here. What about the highlights that do you think at AFAD for you personally, and why do you think it stands out?
I think there is an amazing sense of community at AFAD, which makes us feel like we're a part of something bigger than ourselves, that we're part of a movement, and that we're all in this together. And that feeling of belonging, of community is for me the highlight of AFAD.
Yeah, and for me, the highlight was the panel on grassroots movement building, hearing stories from activists around Asia, working in rural, underserved areas was incredibly inspiring. It also reminded me that change often starts at the community level, and their resilience and creativity stood out.
Okay, so main highlight for me was like getting in touch with different activists and all speakers, all the experienced speakers around the Asia and all the world. So one of the main highlights for me was getting connected to all the peoples here and getting back to my community and giving back to them.
Oh, that's great. I love those answers, feedback from you guys, because as an organizer, this is something that we do for and we hope for, and what you had said is just make us really happy. But we have also have many other like gatherings in the movement. So what do you think that makes AFAD unique compared to other animal advocacy gatherings?
I think what makes AFAD unique is the fact that we can just focus on advocacy that will help farmed animal welfare and improve the lives of farmed animals overall. There are a lot of gatherings, but to focus on a specific category of animals who are so exploited and the numbers are unimaginable. So we can solve for a complex problem together and brainstorm about it without having to consider all other areas as well. And for me, that really makes AFAD unique. It also shows us the strength of our numbers, just how many of us are there, and knowing that sometimes it can be a little intimidating to know how big the problem we're trying to deal with is. So it helps to have strength in numbers and seeing the other advocates around us and realizing that we're not alone.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add, Phil?
Yeah, for me, what makes AFAD unique because it's deeply rooted in the Asian context, addressing region-specific challenges and opportunities in farm animal advocacy, unlike global conferences that may overlook cultural nuances. I mean, like Asia is so diverse with culture, languages, many the landscape as well. So I think AFAD brings together advocates who understand the local landscape, making the conversation more relevant and actionable.
I can't agree more. That's what we do aim for with AFAD. Great. I'm glad to hear about that. And AFAD is also a place we hope to provide a platform for collaboration, for partnership. So by attending AFAD past events, did you form new collaboration or did you strengthen your existing partnership? Can you share an example?
Sure. I think the first AFAD that I attended was the event in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia in 2023. This was at a time that my organization was a few days old and I did not know anybody in the movement. It was scary. The moment I was at AFAD, there was just happy faces everywhere to welcome you and make you feel that you were important for the movement. And I think even though I was so new to the movement, I ended up with a collaboration from the movement. And I found out about so many different organizations through AFAD. I found out about Hive, and through Hive, which was then called Impactful Animal Advocacy, and I joined their Slack channel. Through them, we found support for my organization, Animal Law and Policy Network. We received branding support from Violet Studios. We received guidance from Scarlet Spark. We worked with Culture Canopy. There was so much support that came to us because I was there at one event that was Asia Farm Animal Day. So that was for me just the power of community and the power of bringing people together in one place for a shared mission.
Wow, such a powerful example. Thank you, Apurva, for sharing. How about you, Phil?
Yeah, definitely AFAD brings me a lot of connection with many activists around Asia, and from there I think it's quite the same with Apurva. I connected with many lawyers, animal lawyers from all around Asia, and also with another organization that willing to provide any support with their expertise or funding. And I still remember at that time my team was just 3 including me, but now I have 12 people. So the movement that I at the beginning kind of afraid is kind of a movement that nobody will support, but when I attending AFAD, I find many people supporting our work, and this work is really important, not just for Indonesia but for all around Asia. And it's kind of make me energized because I met so many inspiring people, speakers, activists that willing to help me to move forward with many initiatives that I think at the beginning is kind of impossible. So AFAD is really important.
Yeah, I'm glad that your team expanded so quickly over the time. Did you get any contact with funders, or did you get any funding from attending one of the events, or introduction to any grant that you can apply for?
Yeah, I got so many connection. I mean, like not meeting directly with the funders, but there are so many insights from people that I met to connect with some like organization who doing like regranting program. And at that time, I'm still like looking for, of course, many funding. But then I found like Thrive and the information about Open Philanthropy, ACE, many philanthropy organization that willing to helping me to expand the program specifically in Bali where I base.
Wow, that's great to hear. How about you, Kalian? I hope you expanded your partnership and collaboration as well.
Yeah. So I also started back in Kuala Lumpur. So when I first attended AFAD in Kuala Lumpur, I got to meet like a really huge number of advocates and many experts over there. So one of my greatest connection was Mercy for Animals. So I got to know more people from Mercy for Animals, and yeah, they guided us a lot, especially Lucas. Yeah. So he was my friend. So in Kuala Lumpur, and yeah.
Yeah, great. So at the event, we will not only provide a platform for collaboration, but we had many themed topics as well. We cover a range of topics and discussion. And for corporate campaigns to policy change to grassroots movement building, which topic do you feel most relevant to the challenges that we have or you have in your country?
Right. Before I answer that question, I just wanted to mention that while Asia Farm Animal Day in 2023 in Kuala Lumpur was a way to make new connections, coming back to Asia Farm Animal Day in 2024 in Vietnam was a way to cement those connections, to make those connections deeper and stronger and build on those relationships. And that is something I'm really grateful to the Asia for Animals Coalition for. Now, coming to the range of topics that we covered and what I think is most relevant for the challenges that India, my country, faces. India is a very, very diverse country, and that's something we hear over and over again. There are different needs of different regions, different districts, different states. And given the challenges that are there, I think there is room for all approaches in the Indian context. But what we really definitely need is grassroots movement building. I think involving a large part of the population and helping them understand what farmed animal movement is and what needs to, the suffering of farmed animals is deeply important, and bringing activists together. In my understanding, currently the movement is not fully representative of the entire population of India. We have, due to various factors, we only have a certain percentage of the population represented. So if we were to build a grassroots movement in the country, I think we would be stronger as a movement, we would be more resilient. And lastly, I think policy is extremely important. And policy, when I say public policy, it doesn't mean shutting things down. It doesn't mean closing everything. It means working with different stakeholders to bring about change. And I think that is an approach that India really needs at the moment.
Okay, yes. Oh, great. Thank you, Apurva. How about you, Fiolita, about the topic that you think was more relevant to your country?
Everything. I mean, like the most challenging in my area specifically, because we cannot always put or generalize between, like, for example, Jakarta, the capital, or in Bali where I base, because we are really different. Like talking about the root movement building in Java or in Jakarta is kind of like easier to ask young generation to join the movement, even though farm animal is still kind of like hard to get like support from young generation. But in Bali, since like most people want to avoid conflict, so that's kind of like big challenges. But the things that I learned a lot from attending AFAD, like corporate campaigns and policy change, even though not like 100% copy or adopt from any other organization that already implement, but I mean, like, it's also like creating me how to mitigate the situation in Bali. So how we have to do like corporate campaign that connecting with the tourism sector, for example, because Bali is always like well known with the tourism. So that's also the things that I learned from AFED, how to like become creative with the so many speakers that share about their strategy in their own country. So also like with the policy change this year, we just like starting the policy change. That's also like sparked because of I'm attending the AFED, how to like connect with the stakeholders, how to build the narrative. So the government, for example, easier to understand this issue is not just talking about the moral, but also it's really affected the consumers' health and also the environmental. So I'm happy again to attending AFED because I learned a lot and it's really helping me to build the strategy that's really relevant to be implemented in my region.
I already hear good compliments. I'm happy now. How about Nepal, Kalyan? Do you have the similar challenges, and did the topic that you find at AFAD relevant to your work?
Okay, so I am really from a background of animal rights. So coming to AFAD is leaning more toward animal welfare. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of people getting connected and talking about animal welfare and animal rights too. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, we have both animal rights activists and animal welfare activists at the events, and similarly to the movement, what we think is there's enough space for people, and AFAD or any event we host, we just provide a platform, and so just for people who then to connect to any people, other connection whom they think are more aligned to their way of thinking or way of advocacy, and the relationship and partnership can start from that. So yeah, there have been other events as well where it's more animal rights focused, and here we don't make really a big difference, or we don't define welfare versus rights, but we provide a platform for farm animal protection in general. But I'm glad that you bring up that point. And because so many topic was introduced, as you say, covered, have you like already applied any of those in your real life? Can you give some really vivid examples so the audience can understand more about the impact of the event?
I think just taking off from what you said, and I think it's really important for us to understand, and this is something I learned at AFAD, that despite our differences, we are still all on the same side. We are all working for animals, and it is okay for us to accept the differences and be at peace with each other, so that we can fight the bigger battles outside. And that is a lesson I have brought with myself, and in our work, we make sure that we work with all organizations, we will listen to everybody, we engage with people even outside the movement, because that is what we need to fix. Those are the people we need to work with to bring about large-scale change. So what we have been doing is applying this learning that we got from AFAD about working together with everyone. But also another thing that I learned, I still remember, this was Ambo Bhupal's session on intersectionality in KL in 2023, where she talked about intersectionality and why it is important, and why it is important to say what your stakeholders need to hear, and give them a reason to care about your cause. And ever since then, we made it our mission to give reasons to our stakeholders to care. They may not care about animals, but they may care about human suffering and planetary suffering. So instead of just focusing on animal welfare, could we focus on the one welfare concept and build partnerships and coalitions surrounding that? And that is one learning from Asia Farm Animal Day that still continues to inform 90-95% of the work we do. because all of this is intersectional. We work on the link between aquaculture and public health. We work on the link between the condition of lemurs and poultry animals. We work on the link between climate change and dairy. So these are all the issues we work on, and that's because I learned very early on that everything is interconnected and all sorts of welfare is interconnected.
Right. Can you give an example of like implementation process and success, maybe even in early stage?
I think one of the things we did was we worked with one district in India to conduct an animal welfare audit for that district. We worked with the government, and we collected data from the government about the condition of animals and the number of animals, etc. And then we also conducted farm visits in different sectors, and we prepared a report in which we first assessed the current conditions and the current challenges to animal welfare across sectors. So what are the challenges in poultries and dairies, etc. And we gave an action plan to the government on what they can do to improve animal welfare in the immediate, short and medium to long term. And not just for sector by sector, but also across sectors. So what needs to be done at an institutional level to bring about change? And when we were trying to convince the government, we weren't talking to them just about animals. We were talking to the government about all the other issues that were emerging because they were neglecting animal welfare. So we were showing them what the price of neglecting animal welfare can be for a government. And they were very convinced by that. And as a result of that audit, we are now requesting the government to allow us to implement our recommendations so that we can work with them to implement our whatever we suggested. But even if that doesn't happen, even just with this audit, what has happened is that all poultries in this district have been inspected and orders passed to improve the conditions there. All piggeries have been inspected. The SPCA, or the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, in this district has been reconstituted and is meeting every 30 days now. And this was an SPCA that hadn't met in more than a year. So all of these changes just with an audit. So I think there's a lot of room for getting change when you just adopt different approaches.
Wow, that's a great way to implement, and congratulations for implementing the interconnectedness so well in your work. And I'm glad to hear that. How about you, Vio? Had you apply any strategy or any new idea in your work, and how's the result?
Yeah, so actually it's quite the same what Apurva already been done in India. Like, I'm totally agree. Like, we cannot always say about the moral of animals, because the government, the companies that we are approach, they will not listen and they don't care about animals. So that's why we have to find another strategy which will also like affecting the life of the farm animals. So what we already done, like we got like fully supported by the tourism department in Bali, because again, tourism is kind of like a big issue. While we doing like the scoping report, we know that all of the farmers, the majority of farmers in Bali, they don't have like waste management system, which is it's gonna be like polluting the environmental and the amount of antibiotics being used by the farmers. And with all of the findings that we do, at the beginning we approached to the animal husbandry department, but they already know the issue but they don't know how to mitigate. So then we trying to find another stakeholders who want to listen that this is gonna be affecting the tourism sector in Bali. So that's why we go to them, and since we collaborating with Synergia and Animal Friends Jogja to establish a catch-free district, then we talk to the government. Also, like talking about the local philosophy in Bali, we have local philosophy that always kind of like important to be implementing in many sector of in the government sector. So we also like included that local philosophy, that if they want to find some solution to make this tourism issue become much better by reducing the suffering of animals by like pushing the company to do the transition, helping the farmers to implement the catch-free system, it's going to be affecting the tourism industry as well. And that's really works in my in Bali, because when the government hearing that, oh, it's really aligned with Trihita Karana philosophy, that's really important for Balinese government, then they directly think, oh yeah, it's also like honoring the animals, because they at the beginning don't know what is the connection with the tourism, the local philosophy, and also the work that we done. Then afterwards they directly say, okay, we want to support you, and there is kind of like a formal letter by them, and they even like involving our like poster about and information about catch-free system, catch-free commitment, catch-free district, whatever it is, to their website, so everyone can see. The company can also like see that if they doing the commitment, it's also they will supporting the government program with the sustainability stuff. So that's kind of like make us happy, because again, we cannot always say about the moral of animals, so we have to find different kind of strategy. And also like working with the university, we cannot always say about the animals, of course, that, but then when we talking about the economy and how this is kind of like a new market, and it's really targeting a really big market in Bali, and working with the farmers as well. At the beginning, the catch-free farmers in Bali just like 3, 4, 5, but now we got like almost 10. And all of the farmers at the beginning, they have like so many eggs that they don't know how to sell, but now they have to reject so many demand, because they already overwhelmed with the demand. So the things that we have to do is how to make another farmer to do the transition, which is, it's kind of like a really good progress. So how to support them to have the knowledge on how to do the transition, connecting with the human certified, so they can enter the industrial like hotel or international restaurant in Bali, to be able to sell all of their products. So it's kind of like win-win solution. The animals get less suffer, the farmers also win, the government also have a good impact with the tourism sector, and it's also like helping the company to be easier implement their commitment to be catch-free.
Wow. Yeah, I'm glad to hear. Well, let's hear from Kalian about the implication or the application of the thing that you've learned from AFAD. Did you apply any of the tactics or utilize any connection in your work, and how it turns out?
Okay, so I've learned a lot of things from these events. So as a grassroots organization, we don't have a lot of fundings, and we don't have a lot of resources. So recently I heard about my stats. So it's about sharing resources and everything. So yeah, for now we started using my stats for resources sharing and everything.
So it's not only about sharing different strategy, big things, but even as small as like new apps or tools that can make your work more efficient.
Yeah.
Well, it's great. It's great to hear. So from what you have described, I have a feeling that we are contributing as a organizer of AFAD, and the event is making some contributions. So is that true, or am I imagining like something that the event is like as I wish for?
This is not a figment of your imagination. I think the event has been pivotal in some of our journeys. I think it has given us the tools, the connections, and just the inspiration to keep going on. And I think it immensely contributes to building the farmed animal movement in India. In fact, I remember, this is a little bit of a confession, I wasn't 100% sure if ALPN would work only on farmed animal welfare when I first came to AFAD. I went back and I spoke to my mentor and I told them, I'm 100% sure we want to work on farmed animal welfare now. And that was the power of an event like AFAD, that it almost changed, or at least solidified, the direction our organization was going to take. And So anytime you feel like, anytime you question whether AFED is contributing, just remember that it is, and it is really helping organizations like us, especially young organizations who don't have the resources, who don't have the funding that is required. It is really helpful to at least have community, at least have people who are willing to offer their help and expertise for free. And at this point, I just want to sort of give a shout out to CAPSI, the Capacity Building Coalition of Asia for Animals, that really supported supported us in our early days when we were still figuring out basic things like what office management software, project management software to use, etc., and whether what the structure of our team should be. So there was so much support that we got from Asia for Animals. I'm extremely grateful for that.
Wow, thank you. That's what we do. How about you, Fiolita? Do you agree, like, we are making an impact with the Asia Farm Animal Day? And are we contributing with the event?
Yes, it's 1 million. Like, really impactful for not just me. I believe it's for many activists. That's why whenever event will be conducting, like for like 3 or 2 months before, I always like sounding all of the information to my colleague, to my friends, to all of animal activists in Indonesia, because it's really beneficial for our work. They have to come, they have to listen, they have to connect with so many activists, because that's also what I do. I mean, like, it's kind of like tiring when we come to AFD, because we're not just like listening with all of the speakers' presentation, but we have to connect to many people, arrange the meeting, whatever it is. But it's like really beneficial for our work, because we can listen what they need. Maybe we can help, or we can just like ask what we really need. And if they can help, then of course, they will helping us. And yeah, with so many support, with so many people that we are meeting with at that time, and now even, that's like really helping me to grow, not just with the strategy, with the funding, with the collaboration, and how to like build like a strategy that can be fit in Bali, for example. And yeah, not just like connect with the Indonesian activists, but also from India, from Nepal, from Pakistan, that we can adopt many strategy, because Asia again is kind of like diverse, but we can just like learn from each other. And I think it's really great platform. Also, like, the nice thing, we can just like do kind of like reunion, because sometimes we just like meeting online via Zoom or Google Meet, but when we coming to AFD, we can just like say hi. And yeah, it's kind of like really nice environment to see so many heroes all around Asia that we normally see from the screen. But now, oh my God, it's kind of like happy to see in person, and we cannot like stop chatting, because it's kind of like a good ambience, like talking with so many activists all around Asia.
Yeah, it's such a great vibe, like seeing people in person. And we laugh with each other, eat together, and even make jokes. So there's a moment for me as well. Do you have any other thought to add, Kalian?
Yeah. So AFAD has really been a big support for everyone. Like when I get here in the AFAD event, I feel like I'm coming to my home, seeing all these beautiful people. Like, it feels my people. Yeah,
it's a good feeling of like being in a family and being united. And so in your imagination, what would you like to see the next AFAD to make even more impactful for advocates like you?
Instead of having one AFAD, I would like to see many little AFADs all across Asia. I think that would be my dream. Like, even if 10 different organizations in 10 different countries could organize little Asia Farm Animal Days for their context, for their challenges, for the people there, I think that would be absolutely brilliant. That would be my vision for AFAD.
I was thinking probably, that's also like great idea to make like country AFAD, like Indonesia, India, for example, or Nepal, but not just like connecting with animal protection NGO, but also how to bring together human rights NGO, for example, or environmental NGO, because the issue that we bring is interlinked with any other issue. So how we can make this issue become mainstream, and how to make or to build like a lot of support from any other organization, just like animal protection movement. So I think it's kind of like beneficial for us, and also like food system, because I know that many organizations are working on how to bring back the local food, which is plant-based, but they not like directly say about veganism or plant-based, but that's really like important for us, how to connect with them, how to kind of like support each other. So this issue is not just about the animals, but also the environmental, public health, the food system. So I think that's gonna be like brilliant if it's happen in the future. So the movement will be like bigger and bigger.
Well, all great idea. I would wish for every country in Asia would celebrate Asia Farm Animal Day, and we can bring everyone that can make impact for farm animals, environmental, either animal rights, human rights, even like, because we are all interconnected. How about you? Like, if you have anything more to share?
Yeah. So in the event, like there are multiple sessions in a one time. So the two event, like I want to go to two event at once, but it's really colliding with my same time.
No time. Yeah.
So I would like to suggest, like, can we have a time difference between the sessions? Like I missed one of the sessions today.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Well, we had solution for that. So all these sessions are recorded and uploaded to AFA YouTube channel. So even people who couldn't attend can also watch back. So I've encouraged you to go to AFA YouTube channel and watch again the session that you missed, and even you can watch again the session you attended, and where you will learn like some good ideas, and no doubt you missed it. So and additional thought.
Yeah, that's it.
Great. Thank you, everyone. That brings us to the end of today's episode. And a huge thank you to you, Apurva, Fiorita, and Kalyan, for sharing the insights and your passion with our audience here. Your perspective reminds us why conversations like this matters, and how each of us can play a part in creating a real change for animals across Asia. Thank you again, and until next time.
Thanks for listening. You can find everything you need to know about our work and connect with us at asiaforanimals.com. Tune in for the next episode. Asia for Animals Coalition, a united voice for Asia's animals.